Hello, my name is Dr. Khalid Al-Nabi, and in this second video, we are going to continue with the description of this scapula. The scapula is a thin, triangular bone. It's composed of three edges: the superior edge, the medial edge, and the lateral edge. The scapula has also two surfaces: the anterior surface and the posterior, with three fossa: the subscapular fossa and the supra and infraspinous fossae. And finally, there are three angles: superior, inferior, and lateral angle. We are going to start with the anterior surface. As we said, this particular region is called the subscapular fossa. It is a shallow concavity that dominates the anterior surface of the scapula, and here we distinguish the oblique ridges that cross the subscapular fossa from the superolateral region to inferomedial region. Here they are, those oblique lines, ridges. Now we are going to describe the posterior surface. It is divided by this region. This is what we call the spine of the scapula. It does divide the posterior surface into two regions: the supraspinous fossa and the infraspinous fossa. The scapular spine, it projects laterally as the acromion process. Scapular spine limits with the neck of the scapula a certain notch, this region. So we see in this region limited by the spine of the scapula and the neck of the scapula, three elements. This one is the artery, the suprascapular artery, the suprascapular vein, and nerve. These three elements get through this notch. The acromion, this region, it's a lateral projection of the spine of the scapula, and it is directed forwardly. This is the supraspinous fossa. So it's clear that the supraspinous fossa is the site of origin of the supraspinatus muscle, while the infraspinous fossa is the site of origin of the infraspinatus muscle. Now we are going to describe three edges of the scapula. We are going to start with the superior one, which is the shortest. The superior border is separated from the coracoid process of the scapula by this notch. We call it the suprascapular notch. Three elements go through the suprascapular notch, which are the suprascapular vein, artery and nerve. They are the same elements that we have mentioned earlier. The medial border is the longest. It's also called the vertebral border. There is just a small detail here. Notice that the medial border forms at the level of the spine of the scapula a certain angle, and this angle is obtuse. The last border is the lateral one. It's also called the axillary border. It gets thicker under the glenoidal cavity, forming the amphiglenoid tubercle. Why is this interesting to know? It's because here it is. It's clear. This is the amphiglenoid tubercle, where this is the long sheath of triceps. The long sheath of triceps anchors in the amphiglenoid tubercle. As we said, the scapula has three different angles. The superior angle is almost right, the inferior angle, and the lateral angle, which is the most important. It contains, first of all, this is the coracoid process of the scapula. It's like a finger. We say it's a finger like the little finger of the Game of Thrones, I guess. So it's a projection that is directed forward and laterally. The coracoid process of the scapula anchors three muscles. So here they are. This is the pectoralis minor. It anchors on the coracoid process. This is the short sheath of the biceps, and just beneath it, this is the coracobrachialis muscle. Why we call it coracobrachialis? It's because it's stretched between the coracoid process and the humerus, which is located in the arm, so brachio. So we call it the coracobrachialis muscle. In the lateral angle of the scapula, we find the glenoid fossa. It's a cavity that articulates with the humerus. In its center, we find the glenoidal tubercle, and you might notice that here it is, the anterior border of the glenoid fossa is somehow deformed, forming what we call the glenoidal notch. This region is called the neck of the scapula. It is thick and limited by the infra and supraglenoid tubercles. And as we said before, the importance of the infraglenoid tubercle is that it anchors the long sheath of the triceps muscle. I hope everything was clear. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget also there are a lot of interesting videos to watch, so keep following. Tschüss.